just swelteringly hot. The sentinels have gone berserk. They're killing everything. I mean, next you're going to tell me there's packs of predators trying to get me? Hello everyone, The Ranks is here. Welcome back to No Man's Sky, episode 240. Really trucking along. We're just soaking up a little bit of the benefit of our manufacturing, our engineering floor on our capital ship. Let's take a little bit of this dihydrogen back, actually, if you don't mind. Soaking up a little bit of that benefit, and let's see, we'll just take that out. We'll just keep processing this. There's not much left, and then I think we've well and saved our progress. Right, and over here we're making carbon. Now let's see, here we're processing dihydrogen into dihydrogen jelly because there's an inherent feedback loop when you do this. You get more than you started with. So we should be able to make one, at least one. It's a very slow process, but that's why you have all these refiners at your disposal. And it can help speed stuff along a little bit. Alright, well, while all of these are running, let's head over to the command section and relieve the oncoming crews. Fleet Command Station 1 online. Let's debrief this commander. This was a fairly long trip on a balanced expedition. We got an organic catalyst, some iridesite, some effigies, a little more metals, magna gold, good units return, some superoxide crystals, and chloride lattice. Another effigy. Nothing substantial. Ooh, some ancient coins. Hold on, that's fairly neat. There it is. 1,074 years old. What caused this artifact's owner to bury it underground? Did they hope to return to claim it one day? Such questions may now never be answered. Relatively high value as well. I accept these terms. Let's get the next fleet online. Commander Kinaf. Another balanced expedition, fairly long trip. Carbon crystals, some Gek relics, a lot of superoxide crystals. Geodesite units, a lot of units, and more units. Oh, very nice. I'm just going to let those pile up on the freighter for now. We did get some firegrass bulbs. Some indium, not a lot. A lot of units and more indium. Okay, that was a combat expedition, fairly low-key. That might put us at our cap for indium, what we want to hold on to. I'd like to debrief this commander, please. Fairly short trip, high difficulty rating. Got some geodesite, some herox, organic catalysts. Yep, some activated cadmium. That'll be a good turning into money. Relatticed arc crystal, and let's see if this gets us the commander era of the SV6 Yamato. Inventory full. That's what I thought would happen. So we'll just sell our goods right here, pretty much. Right out of our inventory, we'll sell the ancient coins, and then maybe the firegrass bulbs. And then let's switch to the freighter, where we will sell... do we need... iridesite? We could just sell a stack of that. We have a significant amount of iridesite. We don't need the effigies for sure, or the Gek relics, or the relatticed arc crystal. I think I want to keep everything else for the time being. At least until we know what we're going to have for spare room. We can store the indium right away. We'll get rid of this 286. No, don't break it. Sell it. Oh, it was a small amount of money, though. But it's still a bad habit to be in. That has burned me before. And I'm thinking Oh, it's on the freighter still. Yep, this activated cadmium, 200,000 units. That's not so bad, actually. Terms that are worth accepting, to be sure. Let's see, debrief this commander on a combat expedition, 2,490 light years. We get some geodesite, 4 rounds of units, some chromatic metal, a couple of items perhaps, and some more units and indium. Ooh, legendary wine. Oh my. This rare treasure is covered in strange markings as if the contents were used in some sort of rite or ritual. Some of the sacrament, as it were, and a stained shipwright's brush. 2 items. I was correct. 997 years old on this one, buried alongside its schematic. This remarkable tool was perhaps an original prototype. More than just an object, this find represents the inventive drive in a raw and early form. Alright, well, between the 2 of those, that's 2 million units right there. Let's see, if we can switch over to the freighter for a moment, right, we'll sell this indium. We might sell some of that other stuff. Alright, so let's go head over to the storage bay. There's caveats right off of this. And we'll just start looking at putting stuff away. Right, so here we have our processors, which we have to pull this stuff off the freighter, right? No, I could have sold that chromatic metal. We'll get there. I think we'll save some of those. Alright, so here we're going to give them the organic catalyst. Right, and then it's the next one. We're going to start looking at what we have the most of, because some of these super oxide crystals, we can afford to stack a few more up in there. The iridescite is really the one that's starting to kind of hit its limit, and it's going to start to become a cash item. I think 3 stacks of iridescite and geodesite are pretty good, but at some point these other minerals become less important. But it would be nice to have a couple stacks of each one. That's an easy enough trend to continue, especially when we have so many of them. So let's see, Herox and more geodesite, right, and then the nitrogen salt is the other one, and then these are the spare elements, and then we'll put that one in our exosuit. Perfect. The only one I want to keep is this back here, is this super oxide crystal. Still looking pretty good. Getting to that 3rd stack of geodesite there, and then we're getting there. We have 2 of a lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. This looks like we're going to use pretty much all of this stuff that we have. So. I think as long as we have the room for these items, we'll go ahead and store them. I'm not sure how many extras I want. 2 is probably pretty good, I would say. 2 of each. That's a significant amount of resources. And we were able to hold our metal there, which is good. That seems like a lot of superoxide crystal. Yeah, anything over 3 stacks we're going to process. Or anything over 2 stacks. Anything approaching 3 stacks we're going to process. I don't think there's value there. Personally, I wish you could tab through your... I mean, look how, it's easy to already be disillusioned with the update and say, oh, why can't I dig through my, freighter or my recycling elements to access all of these wonderful materials that I know are in my inventory, but that is not the way it goes. The save point there. That seems Seems like a bad call. This should be sold. I'll likely sell it. Yeah, see, we're gonna process those extra elements. I don't like that. I just don't think it's necessary. Alright, so now we'll swing back up here to the little engineering area. And these are not the refiners I was looking for. There we go. So it's not a very lucrative exchange between this dihydrogen jelly and then what it creates, but you do end up with more than you started with. It only took 400 to make these 10, and then I got 500 out of it. So you can juice the resources along a little bit, sort of stretch them out. And then we're just gonna make sure everything's nice and empty. There we go. As we take a look at our resources back here, we can see that now we are really just stacked on carbon. So I think it's safe to say we're going to take a lesser stack of that carbon and try to push it back into being condensed carbon. Then we'll come over here and we'll start processing some of these extra things like these superoxide crystals. Breaking them down. What else? Yeah, rare metal element, break that down. And now that we're starting to get really maxed out on some of these resources, it gives us a very good excuse to start kind of being a little more easygoing with base locations. To say if it looks like we should build a base and we have the resources and they're plentiful, then we should just stop and build a base. Maybe. We'll see. That's the idea anyways. That's the thought. I think that makes more sense once you're stacked up on like pure, like once you have this much pure ferrite, you can throw down a pretty substantial place in virtually no time at all. The only thing we're hurting for now are atmospherics, the hydrogen, which we always are. These are catching up slowly. I did harvest some plants before the start of the episode. Alright, well, I think we have to stop and see one planet before we leave. At least one, right? Let's go. We'll have to hit the one with the ocean. We'll see what it's all about. It would be rude to just leave through the black hole. Like, bye, we're out of here. Oh, wait. Nope. Before we do all of that, we need to send our frigates back out on an expedition now that they're back. That's the most important part. Cannot forget that. New expeditions. Thank you, Korvax entity. 3 industrial, 1 balanced. So this is high difficulty and high distance. Look at this one. Alright, well let's send out some really high supportive craft then. Industrial support, industrial. And let's send a really good combat. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfectly fine. Excellent. Another industrial 3 stars. This one pretty short, so we'll send a high support, industrial, and then maybe a combat one that's pretty good. Maybe a trade, exploration. Let's see, where's the mineral compressor? Yeah, maybe another one. There you go, there's a 4 star. We'll take that. Balanced expedition at 1 star, fairly long distance. No. Let's do the industrial at 2 star, rather. and then we'll do combat support, exploration. I think you guys can handle that. Then for the trade expedition at 2-star, we'll go trade support, trade, and then we want to leave one support, at least one. At least maybe a combat. We'll take a combat along. Oof, yeah. I got that covered. Last one balanced. Pretty long expedition though. Trade, exploration, combat, support, exploration. Not enough fuel. Look at that. I know it's just pulling the dihydrogen right out of our backpack, yeah. We gotta get that high dihydrogen. I'm probably gonna have to buy a lot of dihydrogen jelly from the store next time. There you go. Alright, and the fleet is off. I think at this point... Oh, the Katsuramsku. I'm tempted to keep our eye out for another exploration craft, as much as I like it. I don't know. Now I can just make a small-looking exploration craft have as many inventory slots as the large exploration craft. It sort of makes me feel better. Alright, well, let's not do the black hole yet. Instead... let's get a photo, maybe? Where's the sun? How about over here? Move the sun over there. Maybe a little more over there. I liked it better with the planet in shadow. Yeah, I don't want to start fiddling with too many settings. How about we just exit it and we just pull it right back up? We'll get right back to where it was. Look at that. That's a pretty neat contrast. I like that. Alright, then let's go see what this planet has to offer us. And get a couple. Alright. Pretty thick atmosphere. Did not even scan the planet beforehand. Terrain, maybe? Looks like there's some terrain off our nose a little bit. Really hard to see. Alright, let's land. Our little fighter is just a rocket ship across the horizon. Torrential heat. Frenzied sentinels. Oh my. Well, who wants to be on a planet like this? This is horrible. It's just swelteringly hot. The sentinels have gone berserk. They're killing everything. I mean, next you're going to tell me there's packs of predators trying to get me? Alright, well, at least the storm's going to clear. Maybe we can get a little bit of a vista and see what this planet feels like. This is some hot rain right here. There's so much steam. You can barely see a thing. Yep, and here's the frenzied sentinel. Yep. We're pulling back out. We're pulling back out from the person again to see this steamy, swampy. It's a hot mess. Look at this place. It's not even a storm. It's just 45 degrees Celsius without a storm. This is its normal. Okay, well, that being the case, oh, let's scan a creature here. Yeah. Oh, that looks predatory. Yep. Eats birds. It sweats its milk for its infants. How cute. So this is just a steamy rainforest, swampy sort of hateful sentinels. The heat has long since fried the sentinel circuitry. Whoa. With some large fauna. Aggressive. Eats rotten meat. Has brittle bones. Look at that thing. This is the land of predators. There's nothing great about this place. Except maybe the view. Alright. A nice little clean explorer. I don't know about those wings pointed up like that, though. Well, let's see what this cute family is all about. Eats star bramble. Beloved by the Gek. Oh, it's beloved by Gek. Alright, thank you for the dihydrogen. Looks to be a mountainous planet. Alright, perhaps we should go make an assessment of the oceans. Boy, that rain clears out a little bit once you get some of that steam. That's painfully blue water. That water is so blue. And all of these like rivers and lakes. Looked like there was a lot larger bodies of water from atmosphere. Let's get a better look. Oh, it absolutely looks like a lot more water over here. A little bit of islands. No real definitive coast. It's just this ongoing swath of islands. The never-ending archipelago. Those are cool too. Still got that hot rain. Alright. Let's see what the ocean is like. Oh, it's nice and cool down here. Not so bad at all. Lots of oysters. Wow, oysters galore. Ocean life, this is pretty temperate down here. Oh, and look at these. Frequently shoaling, eats coral, technically immortal. Are those some kind of mammals? Are they water mammals? I think it might be. Ouch. Ouch. No, not the jellyfish. These. Work so hard to get your picture, but really you never know when it's gonna happen. Look at this. The water's fairly clear and blue. But this almost feels like a reasonable, an Earth-like type of place with this stiff coral here. Alright, let's read what Discovery Book says about U. hapbozosa. Oh, it just takes up the whole screen like this. Okay. It was found roaming the bustling, bountiful oceans of planet Ephocre Tau, carried by the currents as much as by their fins. Their lives know no order, no system. They simply exist wherever greater forces have placed them. Scavengers, they feed upon the soft downward drift of plankton, feasting upon the dying remains of tiny organisms in the coral, as we read. They're technically immortal.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Oh, interesting. I suppose there's no situation with which where we can start to feed underwater creatures. No, we're not that far evolved. Okay. I mean, space magic is space magic, but it has its limitations. And with this steamy storm comes the occlusion to our vision down here. Look at this. Water's heating up, but not enough to really tax the hazard system of our suit. But we know that it's going to be very, very hot on the surface. Oh, yeah. The air is literally boiling. All right, time to leave this little planet. Interesting as it is, very inhospitable. I can usually forgive egregious weather or robots, but not both. Not both. Let's pulse jump out of this atmosphere here. See just where exactly our second planet is. And let's see, how is this planet categorized? A rainy planet. Yeah. Telling me. There's that activated copper. Alright, well, we're going to cut around the planet until its neighbor breaks through its rings. Right there. I do like the color of the nebula here, the red magenta. I think that's really neat. That adds a neat nighttime effect on certain planets, especially hot planets. Let's see, speaking of, a desolate planet with rusted metal. Oh, and silver. It's been a while since I've seen one of these planets, actually. Next to no atmosphere, these planets can be a little interesting. They all sort of seem very similar at first, but then once you get an idea for how the sun looks in the sky and the color of the nebula, it's a huge difference. So we got this bright red sky here. Sort of like this odd demarcation line. Ooh, look at that. Look at those colors. The terrain seems varied. This is like a giant basin here. Oh, and it looks like there's some sort of trench. Let's just take a slow peek. We'll see if any of these have any depth to them. It doesn't look like it. All right, let's bring it to a landing over here. Low atmosphere. The weather is peaceful. You don't say. Peaceful, eh? I like the default. Maybe not vibrant. Filmic. Yeah, if it's too dark. It's too dark. Some of the vistas are a little better in third person. But look at this. Look at this magenta red sky and that red sun. Just wide open nothingness. These planets, they're always... Oh, I guess if you need, what, silver, you could get silver in bulk here. It's not the end of the world. Sun's going down. pretty stiff little plateau over here. It's a steep climb. And then look at that. That's sort of interesting. Ooh, metal fingers. Ooh. Yeah, we'll go check those out. You never know what metal fingers are going to be. And if they are silver, that would be great, because we're actually pretty low on silver after all the capital ship expansion. Look at how easy traveling the surface of these are. Uranium. Ooh, a lot of uranium. Gold. Maybe that's all they ever come in. I thought that you got other ones. Oh, look at that. I can put it in my freighter. Oh, I love that. Just quick transfer stuff to the freighter. That's amazing. Yeah, we could use a little bit of gold. Let's do it. Let's see how much it is. This Sentinel's gonna be like, what are you doing? 195. I mean, it's better than a sharp stick in the eye, I suppose. I guess as long as you heat the beam up first, you know, it goes pretty quick then. Now the sun's going down. Nebula's still pretty much the same color. I really don't feel like walking all that way. So, I think we're gonna remote call our ship in right over here. Neat little barren planet. It's hard to find the things that differentiate them, although the color of the nebula plays a really big part. But it also depends on their terrain and their cave system. You can always devote more exploration, but the truth is, we're travelers. And I think we need to get our travel on a little bit. So let's go clean up everything at our capital ship. And let's see about trying to decrease the distance between us and the next galaxy. Mostly harmless. Oh, hold on. Oh no. This ship eats pirates for breakfast. Come on. Positron ejector. There we go. Jeez. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. Really needed those reinforcements. It's a bad star system to be causing trouble in it when I'm here. They thought it was a permissive environment. They were wrong. Nope. Well, we'll head over to our capital ship. But nothing crazy. We're not doing any engine maintenance. Alright. We'll get ourselves docked. And make sure we save everything out of our refiners. And then I guess we'll grab the end of sleep. And do some traveling. It's hard. It's difficult to leave the planets in the system undiscovered. There's only 2. And we just, we did it. We had to see them. It's one of those things. And no regrets. However, let's remember to sell. I have a couple of these extra salvage datas. And I just want to sell 2 of them, please, so that they're not taking up this extra weird stack. Thank you. And then for the refiners, should be able to pull GURP, Was it the other side? It must have been the other side. Yeah, none of these are lit up. Oh, don't you do this to me. I know one of them had something in it. There it is. There's my condensed carbon. That's pretty good for condensed carbon and nitrate and cobalt. Salt's a little low, but we can get more of that easy enough. And look at that. Look at the money that ionized cobalt and chlorine are worth. Ooh. Gold, platinum, platinum. Whoa, that's worth a lot of money. We need a planet that has activated indium, and we produce a money-making machine. That's what we need. But in order to do that, we're going to have to travel. And I think to travel, we're going to have to do that in the next episode. So until then, take care.